Today's speaker, we have Gigi, and I don't have a bio on you.
You get to make it up.
She's part of the Rochester Spiritualist Society, and she has a beautiful young child. Oh, hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm going to take just a quick little couple of breaths to center myself, because today's act of love that I did was to bake cookies for y'all. So I'm a little bit like, was running behind clearly. So, if there is one thing that I want you to take away from my talk today, it's these four little words, easy to remember. Love is a choice. To me, this feels like a secret that's hidden in plain sight. Plenty of people struggle to recognize this or even believe this truth because our world is so inundated with these romantic ideals of happily ever after that's just effortless, or love at first sight that is irresistible. We romanticize love as an inescapable pull that tugs at your soul as if it's some mysterious force that can entrap you or abandon you on the flightiest whim. But the truth is, no matter the type of love, whether it is love between friends, whether it is love between family or romantic partners, love is a choice. This truth is obscured in part because people often mistake passion or desire for love. Passion is often a part of love, an important part of love, honestly. And it is a very, very noticeable symptom of love, but it is not love itself. Desire is often what kickstarts love into motion, as I'm sure some of us know. But it is not love itself. Desire is not enough to sustain love either. There is only one force that can sustain love, and that is choice. We must actively choose to love, to be loving, and to be open to being loved. I think the most profound evidence that love is a choice is demonstrated by adoptive parents. What could possibly be more loving than opening your heart and your home to a child in need of a family? One of my friends from college was legally adopted when she was 3 years old. She had been fostered by her now adoptive parents since she was a newborn. But right before that legal process was finalized, that paperwork was stalled, and her foster parents were given no reason why. And they feared the worst. They feared that a claim had been made by the biological parents who had surrendered their foster daughter at birth. And they could not fathom losing their little girl, who had been in their life for 3 years now. So they started making preparations to flee the country with her. Yeah, talk about an exciting backup plan. Thankfully, whatever stalled the adoption process resolved, and she became their legal daughter. But their love for her was so strong that they were willing to uproot every aspect of their lives. They were willing to leave everything behind. Their home, their jobs, their native country, like, in order to keep their daughter with them. That's how powerful their love for her was and is to this day. That love is so deep, so unabiding, despite not having a biological origin, because no biological connection is needed to experience such profound love. Love develops through deliberate actions, acts of service, physical touch. I see you two holding hands. Through communication, through sharing our experiences. And this holds true for all types of relationships. Every kiss on a scraped knee, every lullaby sung, every snuggle before bedtime builds a loving connection between a parent and their child. Every high five or hug, every joke that you've laughed together, every adventure that you've taken together, that builds love between friends. Every kiss, every caress, every intimate conversation that you've shared, every dream that you've built together. That builds the love between romantic partners. And all of these are examples of intimacy, and they all boil down to one simple truth. Every moment where you have been vulnerable with someone you love, or when you have supported them at their most vulnerable, that is what builds up an abundance of love in our souls. Every time you choose to act out of love, you increase your capacity to love even more. You become more patient, more empathetic, more compassionate, and more connected. Love has a unique ability to anchor your soul to another. And in doing so, it also makes you more connected to spirit. Love is a powerful vibration, and the more you radiate it, the more in tune you become with spirit. Granted, choosing to act out of love is not always an easy choice. In the words of a great poet from over 1,000 years ago, it is a fearful thing to choose to love that which death can touch. A more modern piece of prose that I also find to be a very meaningful sentiment echoes a similar feeling. To love is to decide forever to have your heart go walking around outside of your body. Both quotes reveal love's major vulnerability. It's fear. Fear can easily cloud our judgment, and it can lead us to make unloving choices. This is most frequently seen in acts of jealousy or insecurity, where someone tries to exert control over their loved one instead of building trust. Life is full of uncertainty, and we must reassure ourselves that the control that we try to exert around us is both a futile effort, and it hinders our efforts to foster love and trust. When I got married 10 years ago, oh my God, I feel old. I'm growing up bit by bit. I'm coming to terms with it. It's a thing. But when I got married 10 years ago, I made the same "as long as we both shall live" vow that so many others do. But it wasn't until I made a different vow to my husband that I had absolute certainty that I would love him until my death and even beyond that. I told my husband that I want to see the person that he has become on the last day of our life together. I decided that I will love him not just as he is now, but I will love the person that he becomes tomorrow. I will choose to love him at any and every moment in our future, and I trust that he will love every version of me as I grow too. We will grow old together because we have acknowledged and accepted that we must compromise and change in order to sustain the love of our relationship. We must adapt together because change is inevitable and it is very outside our control, especially as you have mentioned, since we have now added a chaotic little bundle of joy to our lives. Oh, our sweet little girl who has been teaching me all sorts of new lessons about love and patience and always choosing love. No matter how tired or frustrated I am, I'm getting so much practice. Oh my. But even when my husband and I argue, which is becoming a little more frequent because again, more instability from that cute little thing. But when we have to argue, we prioritize love over winning. Like, if you enter an argument with winning, or even just claiming justice as your goal, you're not choosing love. You are choosing yourself over your relationship. If you argue with the mindset that your loved one is your opponent, you are definitely not choosing love. When you choose to treat your partner as an ally, you choose love. When you compromise in order to find a solution that works for both of you as a team, you have chosen love. And I am going to make an important disclaimer here because life is very messy And often we do find that the most loving people get trapped in toxic or abusive relationships. They happen, we have to talk about it. In healthy relationships, you are both cultivating feelings of unconditional love together. You are able to make balanced compromises because you trust, you know that your partner is acting out of love too. But in a toxic relationship, compromises are one-sided. Only one of you is choosing love. That is not sustainable. It is not healthy. So if you find yourself in an abusive relationship, especially if your safety is compromised, you must choose to love them outside of the relationship from a safe distance. Your feelings of love for them are unconditional, but your relationship with them is conditional. Your presence in their lives is conditional on basic boundaries of mutual respect and support. Even if you are not physically with them, you can still love them. You can hope for the best for them, you can pray for them, and you can trust in spirit that if they are meant to be a part of your life, that your two paths will converge again in the future. You will be reunited when they are ready to coexist with you in a way that enriches your life rather than harms it. So I suppose it is a bit of a bittersweet reassurance to know that love does not have to be hindered by separation. Love is not even hindered by death. Many of us know that very deeply to be true. What is grief if not love enduring beyond loss? This is where I believe that we as spiritualists excel in choosing love. We open our hearts to spirit and to the messages of our loved ones on the other side. We reach for them. We pray for them. We trust in their guidance. We choose to honor our feelings of grief and love when it would just be easier to let time allow us to forget. We actively choose love. We actively seek that connection, even beyond the separation of the living and the other side. So let us take this as inspiration for the love that we have in all aspects of our life. When life is hard, leaning into love will lift you up and will heal you. So even when you are afraid, choose love and trust your loved ones. Even share with them your vulnerabilities. They will cherish them as they are a part of you. When you are hurting, choose love and be vulnerable with your loved ones, and that will give them the opportunity to help heal you. Here's the one I'm personally working on. When you are tired, choose love and be vulnerable by asking for help. This one's hard for me. This is where my life is at right now. And when life is running smoothly, leaning into love enriches your life even more and lifts up those around you. When you are inspired, choose love and share the fruits of your labors with your loved ones. I made you cookies. I hope they're okay. When you are secure, choose love and be the shelter from the storm when your loved ones need your support. When you are full of gratitude, choose love and help your loved ones to see the beauty in the world around you. Because every time that you choose love, it gets easier. It becomes an easier choice to make, not just for you, but for everyone around you. Spirit has blessed us with the power to cultivate love in our world and in our souls, because love, this is the big lesson, love is a choice. I hope that you take something positive away from this, and thank you for letting me share my life lessons and struggles with you.
Thank you.